right
do
now.
that.
I would probably do
They're banning Draven a lot.
Ban the bros. The ban of brothers.
Then which ban do they drop? Rise.
I mean, well, I mean, no, because they're on they're banning Draven, Olaf, Rek'Sai every game. There it is. They're blue side, so they could pick up one of those ones that they're
Rek'Sai,
banning.
Olaf.
So
I think you banned the Rek'Sai. Leave Olaf up.
RBM's Olaf, though.
yeah, but you might pick it first
Oh,
pick.
no, they left them both up. They took away
Ah.
the Mordekaiser. Smart adjustment here by Illinois, and you kind of telegraph what they're going to play.
Because when I was looking through the bans, I was like, you want to ban the Darius in phase 1, because phase 2, you're banning Mordekaiser, and I feel like you can't take the Mord ban and replace it with Darius, because he's going to pick Mord. So they just put both of them up there. I think that's actually a really good adaptation.
Also, nice little shift here. Nautilus heading over to the Bosch instead of Moonlight. Moonlight's gotten to play it back-to-back, now getting him onto something else. And there it is. Olaf is the first pick out of the 2 for RBM. He'll have that in his hands. And a shift over to Leona for Moonlight on the bottom side.
All right, so going to have some decent initiation in CC there, and then ability to get out of CC, of course, with the Ragnarok going in from RBM, which is good because a decent amount of CC is going to be coming their way from the side of Illinois, whether it be in the form of the Flag and Drag, the Dredge line of the Traps. But that's quite a start for Illinois right there. That is a lot of comfort. And Shocks playing that J4. Ouch. You can't Ragnarok through a wall.
Yeah, it's going to put a buffer on
Make
that.
up your mind, yes or no?
No, you can't, right? But it's going to put a buffer on it, but at the same time, I just don't like that early game matchup. I feel like the Olaf can really train him down. So when you get to the part where J4 gets to shine, then it's not that great for Olaf. But earlier than that, kind of sucks for him. Like he gets out cleared. The Olaf is much faster in that regard, and I am worried there for Shocks because he has to find clever ganks and really avoid the Olaf early.
Yeah, I don't mind it as long as he lands, the Flag and Drag in a lane and starts facilitating for the other players, specifically the solo laners in Topopotamus and Command Attack. Really needs to do that. This draft is going on by real quickly. Ari and Ezreal. So Ezreal locked in here for Michigan State. A Corki showing up out of nowhere for Command Attack in the mid lane. What will they round out this composition with? Looking for a top laner for Topopotamus, and he'll go back to the Cho'Gath. We saw him have a massive impact in game number 2 against Purdue in the semifinals. He'll lock that one in, and now we get to see what Michigan State will give Sunlight, who looked good in that last game.
What is he going to play? Is it going to go back to the Urgot? Because your boy has Garen, Mordekaiser, Darius banned against him. Oh, he's going for the Gnar. He's going for a matchup.
Another matchup pick here for Sunlight, and
I don't.
This is going to be a volatile top lane yet again.
No. So my thought process going to this game is that both teams, I think MSU's generally looked, if you average out both games, MSU looks a little bit better, and I was going to go with the draft, who I thought won the draft in this game. I don't really know what happened in this draft. So I think this is, I don't know how I feel about the Ezreal. I feel like I am constantly being underwhelmed by Ezreal players. And, but MSU looked so good, so now I'm going to go Illinois. I think I just like their draft just a little bit better here. Topopotamus' Cho'Gath earlier was disgusting. Flag Drag's good. Caitlin's consistent. Yeah, I'm going to go Illinois.
Yeah, I like Michigan State here yet again. I think I don't trust Shocks right now to facilitate the way that he needs to, and picking the counter matchup on the top side of the map, it's going to go one way or the other pretty hard, I think. And I think with Gnar there against the Cho'Gath, I like that one.
I'm looking at Illinois, and I'm going, I don't know where I'm supposed to go as a jungler. Like, ganking an Gnar, ganking an Ezreal, ganking an Ari, and even like if the Olaf shows up. So I feel like Illinois will do well later, but I feel like Michigan State are set up to succeed. So I'm going to go with Michigan State here. I feel like they have more, quote unquote, like winning lanes right off the bat, or at least lanes that are hard to affect. So that's where I'm going to lean. And I feel like if Corki maybe makes it to like mid-late game, then it's okay. But
yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
This is one of the few series where the teams aren't waiting to just outscale.
Yeah.
Both teams have been able to cultivate leads early and then translate it into something. Illinois struggled a little bit and stumbled a little bit, but were able to get over the finish line. But both these squads known to win early, and right now all the tools are in the hands of Michigan State.
It's really going to rely on Shocks on Illinois' side. side, if they are not able to get some type of lead in Cho'Gath's lane or in Corki's lane, which is hard to do,
Yeah.
I feel like the game might slip away from them based off of just early game.
We're going to find out because the game is ready to go. Game number 3 in our grand finals is underway. Illinois taking on Michigan State. And yeah, this one's just going to come down to execution, I think. A lot of these situations, a lot of scales that could tip hard in either direction. We're going to find out real quick here, already off the bat. And Zyrene, what are you looking at?
Well, I Am Nightshade now has Glacial Augment, so he swapped over from the Electrocute this time.
He was listening.
Well, no, he's not listening to me. He's got something else going on, right? He's obviously very versed in this champion and its matchups, so I think he's going to try to go for... Oh, wait. Whoa! That's instant reaction to seeing a ward down. He was like, nope, 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 nope. He was out.
Also, this is out of 5 matches for Dillaran, this is the 5th bot laner that he's played so far.
He's, 5 champions for 5.
Ashe, Sivir, Syndra, Misfortune, and now the Ezreal. Showing off the flexibility.
Yeah, I'm like, that's why I'm so afraid of Olaf. Yeah.
Olaf is pretty scary. And there's a reason I was like, yeah, but RBM's Olaf, though. When we talked about the bans, there's a reason why.
This is actually a really good start for Michigan State. They were able to kill a ward, and they were also able to get a flash on the bottom side. So the bottom side is going to be really hard to, I would say, be aggressive on for Illinois. So Michigan State, they actually have a winning top and like winning pushing mid early, I think, especially with Glacial Augment. I know Corki can be quite good early game, but the bottom lane was supposed to be the one that works out for you, the extra range from Caitlyn. And now with no flash on your Nautilus and also not having a ward on that bottom side, I would be extra scared here.
Yeah, but to be fair,
I'd be less scared right now. Just Dillaran didn't buy items.
Yeah, he forgot his TP. Just forgot to buy to start the game, then he had to back, and
it happens.
I mean, they had to invade like that, man. They were going
speedy.
Uh-oh.
Good read. That's like a me. That's like a me.
No. He's got to call Ari over, right? Oh wait, no. Ari is actually pushed under turret.
They're gonna fight over it.
They're gonna try.
No. It's a lot of wasted time for that J4 early.
Yeah. Yeah, that is not where he wanted to be. Nice sidestep, though, onto the charm back underneath the turret. That could have been disastrous. And he's got level 2, but he needs to get back on track right now because he's not looking so hot. The Corki Ari matchup, you talked about that before. Command attack. Obviously, huge shoes to fill, of course.
Huge fills to shoe.
You got it. Stepping in for Zeno there in the middle. We'll see if he can live up to the pressure here for Illinois. He's got to go off in this matchup because I Am Nightshade once again back on a hyper comfort champion.
Nice start, though. The shove early by Corki. Now he's badgering RBM at his red buff. Has a nice little CS lead against the Ari. But again, need to see more out of command attack. I think here, Zyrene hit the nail on the head here with this mid-game burst from Corki that can really snowball out of control, but he needs to step up, needs to play a little bit better. Last time we saw him on a marksman, it was a little shaky with the Tristan.
Oh, the package, man, I'm waiting for it. Oh, no. Well, I mean, command attack is well versed in giving the enemy team a special delivery, so we'll see if he gets it out of hand. Okay, Sunlight.
Here we go.
Oh, that's just, yeah, if he had landed that knockup, top of bottom is slightly off.
Yeah, that's you. I mean, there's a lot of natural synergy there, though, of course, with that matchup. And oh, shock. Okay.
He's going to help shove it in.
Yeah, I like this decision a lot. And for burning out the flash. So this is now Anar with no flash up here on the top as well. So maybe look for him to make a return back up there to pay dividends off. But now RBM with a wide flank, going to look to go in and find himself a bit of an invade. But he's out all by his lonesome right now. See if it might look to turn this back. Nah, he's just going to get himself out.
I like this communication by Illinois saying, hey, look, RBM is going to take my bottom side jungle because I have shown on the top side. Can you guys stop him from doing that? They stop him from taking the big Krug, and the lead that RBM was able to amass is not as big as it could be.
Yeah, nice little play there from Sunlight.
If Sunlight gets attacked, he's really likely to transform. Like, just get a few attacks back.
All right.
Yeah, don't let him hit you with that.
Do not. Yeah, that,
Oh,
that is
no,
the poke damage you
that's-
cannot afford to have.
Yeah, that's the EQ.
Oh,
So he
boy.
can't use it.
Sunlight playing with fire right now.
I mean,
this turret.
I think that he would transform before they would be able to kill him, so yeah, he just wants that extra HP. Really, like you said, he was playing with fire, but he was really on a knife's edge. But I feel like he was on the dull side.
The dull side. On the handle? On the
Yeah, he's on like the, it gets a little dull in certain places when you overuse it.
Gotta bring your
knife,
yeah,
but
bring
it's
your
not a sharp
whetstone.
one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh man, there's this great YouTube video of the guy using different whetstones on a $1 knife, and they're like the knives or the whetstone is like it goes up in quality over time, and then it's just this store-bought $1 knife just shreds through stuff. It's actually incredible.
Well, how did you guys? Why do you both of you know this video?
Wait, you know it?
No.
Oh, you said whetstone though. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
no,
what that is.
What? Okay.
It's one of those like 3 a.m. How did I get here?
Yeah.
Type things. It's
One of those.
incredible. But speaking of slicing through things, both teams have sliced through each other really heavily in both these games.
Nice.
And so nobody's gotten that advantage just yet. I feel like both teams are scared of that.
Oh.
And we're seeing the fight breaking out now in the jungle. Both mid laners are going to look to rotate through, but the charm connects. Over the wall is the Bosch trying to get himself back out. And that is going to be first blood going the way of the Ahri, punishing the jungle with that ignite.
Oh, no.
And maybe getting a little bit more for it now. Skooterik's going to try and get a kill of his own. Flash does trade before he goes down, but Dillaran's able to come on in and pick up a kill of his own. What a sloppy fight in the jungle for both teams.
Yeah,
Incredibly
Skooterik.
messy, but Sunlight actually is going to get another chain slow here. Maybe a stun when he transforms. I don't think it's going to be a kill, but it's going to be a lot of damage and pushing top out.
Yeah, Skooterik getting a little aggressive with Caitlyn. He tried to flank and go 1v1 against the Olaf, got caught out by the opposing bot lane, Michigan State's Moonlight and Dillaran, but was able to trade out and pick up at least one kill. So nice recovery there by Skooterik to make sure his flanking Caitlyn was for something.
2-1 now. First blood, of course, going over to I Am Nightshade. Well deserved. That charm to keep his teammate alive just a little bit longer was absolutely massive. Beautiful rotation there, denying command attack, being able to enforce his will into that fight. Is very even so far in this game. I would say the most even we've seen out of any of the early games between game 1 and game 2. It seems like the period of feeling your opponent out is sort of coming to an end, and both of these teams are just really looking to start trading blows.
Yeah, I think they understand each other better where it's like, okay, Sunlight's going to go this aggressive. He's transforming right now. This is the time that Jarvan wants to get in there. Jarvan wants to come right now.
That is going to be the case. Top of bottom is looking to stand strong and set this one up, but he's only got so much HP to work with there. There's the stun. The follow-up is here. Here comes Shock, looking to go on the flag and drag. The knock-up is going to be there, giving it over the top laner. That is the correct decision. The double kill, though, happening right now in the mid for RBM. Triple kill, I should say, as that is going to be a quick series of kills in response. What even happened in the mid?
Yeah, command attack, Skooterik and the Bosch all feeling the axe coming through here from RBM. This is why you don't give this man this champion. He's able to set up his own kills, dish out a ton of damage. We take a look at it one more time. Nightshade setting this one up and getting two-man ganked from the bottom side of the map, but able to outplay it by enough time to allow the Olaf to come through. Nice sidesteps. Even through the ignite, does go down. And then RBM just coming and cleaning up, and Skooterik just wrong place, wrong time yet again.
Oh, he gets level 6 off that. So he gets level 6, and then he just is ready to get that extra damage in.
Really nice series of play there in the mid from MSU, allowing them to pull ahead about 1.5k gold lead. So trading blows back and forth now for both of these teams. Neither one able to establish a super solid footing here in the mid, but 3-1-2 for this Olaf already. The most concentrated deposit of gold ahead in CS as well. And trying to give the team a little bit of a boost, of course, for Illinois. Oh, no, you hate to see it.
Oh, there we go.
He's fine. This is fine. This was fine. This was fine. It is now no longer fine.
Nightshade able to pick up yet another one, and Shock's getting his hand caught in the cookie jar. Taking down 0-2 for the J4, and we said this is the guy that needs to facilitate.
Yep.
He's able to get the kill on the top side of the map and get Topopotamus going in a matchup that eventually the Gnar should be able to split push in. So stalling that one out has done his job there, but in the mid lane, command attack hasn't benefited from any of these ganks from Shocks quite yet.
He is working overtime, but he is overworking himself right now. Shox is doing too much. I think all you have to do is make sure that you are avoiding the Olaf, you're setting up vision, and you are just not...
Oh, no.
Does he die here? No, he's going to be
right.
fine.
Oh! Oh!
Oh!
The flash forward by Sunlight to stay out of the silence, pick up the kill, and Top Eponymous didn't take it to the shed.
I think he might have caught Top Eponymous in an animation there when he turned, because Cho'Gath has longer animations than other champions. It's kind of most people have quarter-second cast times. He actually has half-second cast times because it makes him feel more like a big, looming, like, dinosaur, right? So his abilities actually feel big, too. So I think he caught him in one, so he couldn't flash out.
Those are the key moments, those plays, knowing exactly how far you can push a champion and exactly what the limitation of those other champions are. So clearly someone who's played this top lane matchup over and over again knows exactly what they can do. Nice play from Sunlight there, pushing down Top Eponymous, allowing his team to continue to exert pressure elsewhere and deal with the split pushing threat, which now means Infernal Drake going over the side of Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State again, starting this one hot early, pushing the lead not only in terms of gold, but again, the Drake as well. And RBM getting one of those banned away champions and making use of it.
Yeah, they have to really put the brakes on Illinois. They really have to put the brakes on Michigan State and make sure that they can't, run away with this game. They've gotten themselves an Infernal. They're going to get some plates topside, get more gold here. But at the same time, there's a 4-man dive coming bottom side. Top Eponymous might have to TP.
Bosch is going to be the target. Kudarik as well. TP is being committed, but all 4 members are coming on in. Moonlight able to get himself out with very little HP, but the double kill is there. Nice play coming in for Michigan State, knowing exactly how far they can push underneath the turret. And up top, the J4 now forced to flash out as well. Sunlight, such a threat up in the top. What was that situation? That was a Rift Herald going in. Not only did the turret not fall,
yeah.
the J4 almost walked away. Well, didn't walk away.
Yeah, had to burn flash to get out as well. Just doesn't feel good right now for Illinois. Their calls are getting countered every single time.
He needed to TP much sooner than this because he TPs, and by the time he actually comes in, everything's just resolved at that point.
That's what it was. They dropped the Rift Herald on the top side, and Cho'Gath was helping push the minion wave on in, look for a potential dive onto Sunlight. In the middle of it, Michigan State called the dive on the bottom side. He's forced to TP, and it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late.
What an incredible series of play from Michigan State there. Not only getting a couple kills in the bottom, but shutting down the push simultaneously in the top. You said it, shutting down the calls of Illinois. That seems to be it to a T. Michigan State with the full read right now. If this was a game of poker, they know the tells that Illinois is putting their way, and their chips on the table at this point. They're all in.
If it worked. If it ain't
run
broke, don't
away!
fix it.
Oh, it works.
Yeah, it's working. Dilran with another kill on the Ezreal, 2-0-2. Just another dive on the bottom side of the map with no answer. Top Eponymous still had ulti, but no one was low enough to get executed. And it's just a numbers advantage. 3 members of Michigan State on the bottom side of the map against just 1. And there's nothing, well, not that there's nothing for Illinois to do. They're just not in position to do it right now. Michigan State's just playing faster than Illinois.
Yeah, and Michigan State, like I said, when I was kind of predicting which team would win, I just think their composition is way earlier game focused. Like, if you make it late with Illinois, yeah, you're going to have a great time with the Cho'Gath front line. But this right here is, like, you're just going to have some domination from the early game, and it's on Michigan State to mess up, is what I think, because they have the tools to win the game flat out right from the champion select.
But now we're looking at a situation which is a little bit reminiscent of game number 1, except things are swapped here. As Michigan State is now the one in the lead, and they were able to claw back while behind. The question is, can Illinois do it? But I think the idea that they're just moving a little bit too slow is exactly it. It seems like the rotations from Michigan State are just a bit too clean.
Yeah, and part of me thinks the beautiful macro game that we got to see from Illinois in their Western Conference Finals match against Purdue comes from the fact that Purdue was playing a little bit slower. Yep. They're not playing as fast as Michigan State has. Michigan State almost goes so fast, sometimes they trip over their own feet, which is what we saw in game 1. Here, now they're just running on all cylinders, and Illinois is just a step or 2 behind every time.
Yeah, and Michigan State, they're just turning the Smackro game on earlier. They're just like, you know what? we're not going to get the hand ready. We're just going to smack you immediately. That's exactly what's going on here.
I think a lot of it comes down to comfort, too. You got RBM on an absolute comfort champ. You've got IM Nightshade once again back on the Ahri. Look at the stat line between the two of them. 7, 2, and 8 between the two of them here in the mid and jungle. And I mean, you know, there's only 3 kills on the side of Illinois, period, here. You've got the bot lane going entirely untouched as well. This is just, as you said, this is Michigan State's game to lose.
Oh no.
This
Sunlight went straight at him and said, bring it, brother. Going right on in, throws him into the wall, but here comes the nice knockup from Shock. Sunlight still dishing out damage, about to go
Sunlight
small.
does not
Top
care.
and bottom is forced to flash away.
flash.
And here comes everybody. Sunlight able to turn the damage around on the Shock.
All right, a 2v1. He does get knocked up, though. Okay, there's the silence.
There it is.
Okay. if he'd actually sidestepped that knockup there, that might have actually been able to kill 2 of them there.
And this is the big difference between Michigan State and Illinois. Once Illinois forces 3 members down to the bottom side of the map, Michigan State are already in position to get multiple things. They get the outer turret in the mid lane, looking to finish off the inner turret in the mid lane, as well as the fact that really big meme is doing the Rift Herald. This is all great synergy here for Michigan State. The ult from the Bosch, too late to stop the push into the mid lane, and they get away with so many objectives here.
This is what I wanted from Michigan State. This is it. Their ability to convert kills into objectives. It's that simple. It is that easy. It is Mobile 101. It is absolutely basic. And let's just say, you know, if this was a test, they would be acing it right now.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job of that. Everything you were talking about, the Rift Herald, now they're going to go for the Ocean. They're there first. I think they're getting used to using Sunlight, but look at that. He jumps right in.
Going on in the fight in the jungle right now on the side of Illinois. Dillaran taking a lot of damage. No!
Dillaran!
Dillaran
Just
survived.
something to hit.
That's the Drake. Stop hitting that. Stop hitting the Drake. No, the shutdown.
Oh my gosh, the bloodthirsty Drake says, I'm tired of getting deleted. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen a Nautilus die in the air
Yeah.
on top of the trees.
I belong under the sea.
It's just been an absolute slaughter, though, even though that wasn't a fight, that was a gauge. Okay.
Oh, really? That was
That was an action. That was a little style.
It was ambitious, but he was still going for it. I mean, if he kills him there, then they can definitely push for maybe an inhibitor turret after, because they have this Rift Herald.
Oh my. Yeah, this is a little bit of a scary proposition right now for Illinois. We're gonna lose the inhib, and now there's just a lot of questions that Michigan State is gonna be able to pose. They're not going to have an answer to. And it's sort of just do the next best thing at this point.
I love the fact that command attack, Valkyrie's in.
Right in.
He does get the kill eventually. Oh, actually, he doesn't get the kill.
Well, this is great, because Dillaran is like, I gotta get Conqueror stacks. Conqueror damage. He's like, oh God! He just gets spit on by the dragon a few times and he just drops. Oh, the poor guy.
Yeah, nice knockup again by Topopotamus to make that happen in the first place. But Illinois are starting to lose their grip on this game.
They are, to say the least. IM Nightshade going in, starting to chunk. Shot barrage as well. Oh my, from Dillaran. Just continuing to chunk. And Illinois trying to do a little bit of split push of their own. Corky is up in the top to try and answer what Sunlight is doing. And it is going to be able to try and get them a little bit of additional gold, but this is just sort of putting a Band-Aid on a severed limb at this point. It's just not an ideal situation. A little morbid, but you know.
Now, it evokes quite the image of uselessness.
Certainly not doing a whole lot, to say the least.
Hey, man, I'm trying my best.
Oh, all right. Dillaran's actually going to be totally fine. And
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Nice shift away at the very last second, though, and he stays alive. Big play by Dillaran, and another decent attempt by Illinois, just getting caught out, using the stopwatch at the right moment, the charm coming on through to stop out any other damage coming through. And Illinois just asking some solid questions, and Michigan State has the answer every single time.
Yeah, and that's just so much sustain from the Conqueror, as well as having the Vamp Scepter there. You know, like Dillaran, the mobility, also having good armor. It's really going to be hard for Illinois to have anything more to say in this game, because it has just been Michigan State from the draft, from the start, from the Olaf, just snowballing, and now the rest of the team, Nightshade, as well as Dillaran and even Sunlight are running away with this game.
Yeah, with this composition of Illinois, they wanted to get Michigan State forced under turret, where Corky, where Caitlyn, and the range of those two can excel. If they try to press up, then you have nice peel from the Cho'Gath and a go button whenever you want with the J4. And Michigan State said, yeah, we're not going to play that game. We're just going to drag you across the map.
The good news is they have been under turret the whole game. It's just been their own.
Yeah. The pushing power of Michigan State off the back of these kills. They don't got the most traditional pushing roster, but they're just doing it once the opposing team is dead. Now Topotamus is going to potentially go in and try and start something off here, but RBM is just so big at this point. There's not a whole lot they can do. The 4-1 is very real. The Sunlight is split pushing up a storm right now, creating so much opportunity for his team to get work done across the rift. And oh man, this is a rough situation to be in if you're an Illinois fan.
Yeah, if you're the Fighting Illini, you need to find someone to engage upon, especially now that they're starting to knock on the inhib turrets. But here we go. Shock's able to get himself to the back line. Nightshade able to get himself away. RBM was Ragnarokin, and Roland does get taken down, but 3 members already dead for the Fighting Illini. Moonlight does go down, but it allows Dillaran space to come clean on up. Sunlight just here for moral support. They do have the pushing lane in the mid lane. Minions stacked up on the bottom side of the map. They're going to go for the finish.
Ezreal is TPing like 40 feet, and that's fine.
Yeah, it's making sure that the minion lasts longer, right?
Yeah. Just going on in, securing those few shots there. Oh, Corky's going to look to go on in, try and pick up I'm Nation. We'll be able to do so. Sacrifices his life for it, though. And
he buys some time, he buys time.
It might actually have bought enough time there. That is the ace, though, but it doesn't even matter. I think he bought enough time to keep his team in this game.
Yeah, here comes Shocks in the Bosch. You got a decent amount of damage. Yeah, actually, no, you have no damage from your J4. He's full tank.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It does buy time. They don't lose the inhib on the top side of the map, so this game will stall for a little bit longer. Command attack hitting the right person in Nightshade. That AP damage coming through as we have ourselves a little bit of a pause to close things out. You know, today Discord has had a bit of difficulty, so you want to make sure you can communicate on through as we take a look at that fight one more time.
Yeah, this was really, there was the charm that landed there pulling the Cho'Gath in. Everyone goes in, but it's Shock's just getting completely split from the rest of his team. And then watch Moonlight through all of this as well after the True Shot barrage. He survives so long against Kudarik, and then he lands that key stun that allows the rest of the team to get in and pick that up. Absolutely huge.
Hey, he bought so much time, too, because if he got to the left side of the fight and maybe he had one more item, then it might have been a kill on Nightshade. It would have definitely been damage at least, but TP in. They're killing the turret. They get that one turret. Command attack finally puts, once again, his skills to use. Nightshade misses the charm, so he dies, but the minion wave gets a little bit more clear from that package. So the Valkyrie did actually matter a decent amount in terms of keeping the turrets up.
Yeah, but Michigan State poised to take this victory here. It's been a dominant series for them in their good games. We have seen them struggle before, and it was when Illinois got creative. They got creative in their early game, in the invade, how they wanted to play it out. But since they played standard, it seemed like Michigan State has just had their number at every single turn.
Yeah, Michigan State really does seem like they have that micro that's a little bit better. Their macro movements are sometimes a little bit clumsy, but at the same time, I think it's really just the micro is now putting Illinois in almost like a fluster or a panic where they're feeling like they have to do something in order to still be in the game when they do scale incredibly well. So I think it's affecting Shocks a lot personally. I think he's the person that I've seen kind of expect more out of his laners because they've been getting away with things like that all season long if they're in the right place and they make the right moves. But the other team is saying, yeah, you're in the right place, you just don't have the right laners for that because ours are, you know, pushing harder and expecting this. So I feel like the answers have been there when they haven't been in the past.
Watching Illinois play all day, I think I'm starting to learn that their macro is amazing when they're ahead. And they get ahead off of out-mechanicking their opponents on their side of the bracket, which they just haven't been able to do in a lot of these games. And they're finding that they can't execute the same moves. They know the dance, but they just can't. It's not to the same beat. It's not the right music. And they just seem to be losing their footing here in these games. And they're feeling super confident when they're ahead. But it's easy to win when you're ahead. It's harder to come back when you're behind. And Michigan State's showing that, look, they're adapting to these drafts. They're going back to tried and true comfort picks. And it's paying off in a big way. As you said, the macros a little bit sloppy. It's not hyper ideal, but it's still definitely better than what we saw from them earlier. They're actually taking a page out of Illinois' book. Little stuff like able to push down 2 mid turrets while picking up the Rift Herald while that space was being bought by Gnar. That is insane. That is incredible value for one Gnar who actually traded lives and almost got a 2-for-1.
Yeah, he traded lives and almost made somebody, and it made somebody back.
Yeah, so all in all across the board, Michigan State is just going off right now. I'm not saying this game is over by necessarily any means here. It's definitely Michigan State's game to lose, though, putting them 1 game away here potentially from being our champions.
Yeah, Illinois can continue to wave clear. You got the Caitlyn, you got the Corki, so double marksman to buy a little bit more time. But as soon as Michigan State jumps on one of those members, it's going to be very difficult to peel them off.
The classic Caitlyn build, the 75% crit, this has been a newer build that people have been going for very recently. It actually is quite good. You just want that crit as soon as possible. A lot of that factors into the headshot and how that scales. Also just her ability to affect the mid game, usually waiting for more and more attack speed. Gets kind of iffy. You just want to hit people really hard and use the fact that you got the increased critical strike damage from your Infinity Edge. You want to make that used more frequently by having more crit.
And we're seeing a bit of an initiation here in the mid. That's the charm of the back. The Cataclysm Shocks is getting absolutely chunked through all this. So look at the follow-up damage there. Corki trying to do his worst, but here comes Starlight on the flank, finding multiple members with that stun. Beautiful plays. Michigan State just running it down the mid right now. The Leona survives for so long, going to the backside. Nightshade putting it back in is the Gnar. And that is all 5 members down. A huge series of plays from Michigan State. The triple kill from the Ahri and the full on ace. That looks like it is going to be the game in an instant. Michigan State just take it over. I said this one is close. It looks like their game to lose, and lose they will not as they run it down mid, taking the series 2-1 in favor of Michigan State. What a fight.
Yeah, Command Attack tried to Valkyrie himself backwards, but it was Gnar pulling him back in and pulling the victory out of game number 3 and 1 game away from being crowned preseason BTN champions.
Getting their revenge, and also, I remember a little birdie at the end of the desk saying 3-1
For Michigan State.
for Michigan State. And how did you say it was going to go again?
I actually was slightly wrong.
Yeah,
I thought that Michigan State was going to win game number 1. They were going to troll in game number 2, get caught a little bit. Their hubris was going to bite them, and then they were going to go back and win the next 2. Didn't quite happen that way. I think they didn't necessarily take game number 1 as seriously as they should have, and then they woke up a little, and now they're 1 game away from doing it. So my overall prediction of 3-1 for Michigan State may still hold true.
I'm a little worried if I'm the Fighting Illini right now. I think in game 2, you're like, you know what? We ran them over and learned from our mistakes from game 1 and game 2. We'll be fine here in game 3. But again, they got ran over again. And you're starting to get a little worried. Do we need to play composition that's easier to execute? Do we need to really try to stunt out 1 member? Because Nightshade's making his own plays on the Ahri. You went pretty deep into the champ pool of Sunlight on the top side of the map. RBM getting one of those 2 bans in the form of Olaf this time. Also picked up a triple kill in the mid lane. You're starting to run out of different questions in the draft that you can ask this Michigan State roster.
I feel like Illinois just need to draft things that are going to team fight earlier together and actually have pressure. Because Top Hippopotamus, even if you're targeting him, I still feel like there's a top difference. I think Top Hippopotamus has been doing a really good job, but I think Sunlight is a bit better than him in these oddball matchups. He's a very different top laner to go against. I think he's very different than almost anybody else in the entire BTN or collegiate scene, where he's just playing these champions that you don't get a lot of practice against, and especially in a competitive environment. So it's almost like you're fighting 2 teams at once. You're fighting the Sunlight team, and then you're fighting the rest of the team. But you have to at least acknowledge that the Sunfight team exists both in Champion Select and in the game as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of different questions that Michigan State has been able to pose to their opponents here. And hopefully answering some of them for us is Returned, standing by to help analyze that last match.
Well, I might have a few answers for you here and there, but Zyrene's pretty spot on when we're getting to that, and we're going to have a bit of an update here, not just with plays, but actually when it comes to the overall game strategy for both these teams. And with Michigan State moving on all the way up to the match point, Illinois is going to be a little bit of panic mode. So let's take a look at what we were saying before and how that's adapted to now. So when we're talking about Keys victory before, Illinois was the slower team. They're the ones that want to wait out the opponent get the advantage, win the game from there. Michigan, they're going to hit you in the mouth when they can and take the game from the start. Game 1 worked out for Illinois because they were almost gifted that first fight from Michigan. It was that fight that we went over here on the replay after Game 1 where 3 members go down, Illinois gets a lead, and Illinois runs away with it. What's been happening in Game 2 and 3 has just been nothing but the fighting. It's been nothing but giving Michigan State control of the early game. And actually, if we can throw it back to the draft after this fight here, it came down to really giving over so much in that drafting phase. Bot lane has a decent matchup. You saw the Caitlyn plus Nautilus into the opposing bottom lanes. We're going to get that back on the screen here. But it's the solo lanes that really need to be starting to shine through from Illinois, because you have some big names. You have Command Attack, you have Top Hippopotamus, and even Shox, who's been having some pretty good performances before. But going into Game 4, and for my money, the rest of the series, you have to be focusing on getting somebody in that trio, Top Hippopotamus, Shox, or Command Attack. You need to give them the winning matchup. And even here in this draft, where you had the third pick, the final pick of the first rotation from Ahri, there was what should lead to a counterpick scenario given that the enemy mid's going first. Because Ahri is such comfort for Nightshade, there just isn't anything that Command Attack is willing to play into that. So going into this next game, either you got to start banning away some of these very key picks, which is going to be really rough to do on Red's side. You're going to leave some stuff up, but you need to make sure that Top Hippopotamus, Shox, or Command Attack, somebody's got to help you in the early game, because Michigan State, you give them an inch, they're going to take the cup. They're going to take the entire championship here. But that's just my 2 cents. Back to you guys on the desk for yours.
That was at least $10 worth of information. Don't sell yourself short, return. Come on. No, I agree. They need that winning matchup, and at this point, Michigan State is creating too many threats for you to fit in a ban phase. It's just not possible. They are going to get comfort somewhere, posing too many questions, and we've seen it. If Illinois gets behind, they're just not quite sure how to play their game from that position. So things are going to have to change pretty dramatically in game number 4, or MSU is going to walk away with it. I think they're finally starting to find their stride here in this series. They've got the read on their opponents. And if you're the side of Illinois, for the Fighting Illini, Degon, what do you do in his last game? You heard what Return said. What do you want to add to that?
I think you give up the Draven ban,
Yeah.
and then you go with Olaf, Rek'Sai, Ahri. Go there. Give it up to Dillaran and see what he does. He has played a different AD carry every single game, or a different bot laner because he played Syndra. So I would try that.
All right. Zyrene, last thoughts from you?
I don't know if I think like the Draven, Darius, Mord are good bans here. I don't really think that the Olaf Rek'Sai is an issue as long as you play one of them yourself. I think if you can pick up the Olaf and kind of deny that, it's still a really good early game champion to have in your wheelhouse. I'm surprised they picked up the Nautilus over it, and that was the surprise for me for Illinois. So Illinois, I would try to get, once again, onto blue side and try to first pick something away, because I don't think counterpick has been working out for you in top side at all.
All right. It comes down to the draft in this potentially final game of our championships here for the BTN 2019 preseason invitational. Do not go anywhere unless it's to get a snack or some food or something, order some Grubhub, I don't know, and then come back right here on the channel and tune in to our finals. You don't want to miss it.